Tiny Tuesday tips with Stuart. People of the world, friends and relatives, do you need to use a pick when you play guitar? The answer is, of course, no. You don't need to use a pick. First of all, no one can tell you what you have to do. I mean, plenty of people can, and they do, and they will, and it's probably good, because if no one told you what you had to do, we want freedom, but at the same time, I mean, you can't steal from people. You can't cut people's hair without it asking first. Well, that's not true, because technically, a barber does not ask if they can cut your hair. You instruct them. You're actually telling them what to do. Turns this whole thing on its head. Hair, no pun intended, except clearly it was intended. So that's the answer to you. Do you have to use a pick when you play guitars? No, of course not. But my personal answer is yes, you do. You do. I'm not saying all the time. Of course, I do finger picking stuff all the time. Sometimes I'll strum with my thumb. Sometimes I just won't have a pick with me, and it's great to be able to play without a pick. But I will say that for most people, playing with a pick provides them with the ability to have more control over what they're playing, to have a clearer and stronger sound. And in my opinion, there are certain techniques that you just need a pick to be able to play. It would be very difficult to play Metallica songs without a pick. I would say practically impossible. Shoot, darn it. I'm really trying to not look down at my notes, but I just have to do it. If you hate holding a pick, okay, here's what it says. It says, if you hate holding a pick, no one is forcing you. But I think you at least owe it to yourself to push past the hate long enough to learn. Are you not using a pick because you legitimately don't want it to be a part of your guitar playing? Or is it just that you have not taken the time to learn how to use it? Were you paying attention? I was just reading and I wasn't actually listening to what I was saying. That was in class when they tell you to read out loud for the class and you're like, well, I can do that if you want, but just so you know, if I'm reading out loud to the class, I'm not going to have any idea what happened for that part of the book because I cannot read out loud and pay attention to what I'm saying. So hopefully something I just said was useful. I think ultimately, what the tip is if you currently do not use a pick when you play, ever, I'm going to advise you to at least get comfortable using a pick. Give it 3 months of where you play with the pick regularly, because I think there's a very good chance that you might tell yourself, oh, I don't like using a pick. It's not my style. I like the sound and the feel of using my fingers. Totally legit. But there is a very real possibility that the truth is you're just that seems like a lot of work. It feels weird. It keeps spinning in my fingers. And I don't know. I'm just going to use my hands. And then once you get used to using a pick, you will be very glad that you learned how. Now, all of this being said, one of my all-time favorite guitarists, Tom York, he practically never uses a pick. And it's working out pretty great for him, and he plays things that I swear shouldn't be possible without a pick, yet somehow he's able to do it. So I'm giving you a lot of mixed signals with this tiny tip, and it's not really much of a tip at all, unless you count the tip of the pick. Hi, tip of the pick to you. It's green, Irish. St. Patrick's Day is coming up, very exciting.